My clock says it is the hour. So welcome everybody. Today is Tuesday, September the 8th, and I want to welcome you to our Zoomformation call for zones 33 and 34 and more. I hope everybody enjoyed the weekend. For those of us in the US, we had a long weekend with a holiday. For those Rotarians who are non-US, I hope you enjoyed your weekend as well. We're going to jump right into our program today because it is jam-packed. At the end of June, this past June in 2020, the 2019-2020 Board of Directors acted favorably on a request from the trustees to finally and officially approve the inclusion of environment as one of our areas of focus, supporting the environment. So today, our Zoomformation call is going to be a celebration of that area of focus. We're going to have 4 different people who have messages for us today. What I'd like you to do is hold your questions until the end of all the presentations, but put them in the chat feature. And our behind the scenes immediate past director, David Stovall, will collect those and we'll take a look at them and we'll handle them at the end. All right. So today we're going to hear from 4 people who have different perspectives and Rotary application of supporting the environment. It's my honor right now to introduce our first presenter, and that is past Rotary International President Ian Risley. Ian was president of Rotary in 2017 and 18, and he is now a trustee. You may remember that when Ian was president, he asked all of us to do something very important. He asked us to plant a tree, 1 tree for every member in our clubs. And by and large, there were millions of trees planted around the world. Ian is a self-proclaimed lover of trees. So it's a very appropriate thing that he, as a trustee now, is able to help launch the area of focus that will support the environment. So having said that, I'm going to turn this back over to David, who will roll a video message from past President Ian Risley.
Good day. Can I say thanks to my old friend Director Stephanie for the invitation to join you folks at your zone to talk about a new area of focus, the area that relates to the environment. Do you have heroes? Do you have Rotary heroes? Because I certainly do. And one of them was president of Rotary International in 1990-91. He was a fellow from Brazil called Paula, and he had, as one of his programs, Preserve Planet Earth. And they did wonderful work. And then after that, we heard nothing much in Rotary terms about the environment for quite some time. And when I was given the honor of being president in the great year of 2017-18, I'm a lifelong environmentalist, and I'm proud of that. I wear the description of greenie, that pejorative for most people. I wear that as a badge of honor, and I was determined that that we would have some aspect of Rotary activity offered to the Rotary world with an environmental focus. Something simple like planting 1 tree for every Rotarian. And that was really well received and well adopted by the Rotary world. And that was part of making a difference. And my successors, Barry and Mark, also picked up the environmental theme to in different ways, shall we say. So we had a bit of momentum. And then in October last year, the incoming now chairman of the trustees of the Rotary Foundation, Ravi Ravindran, who was in fact the catalyst to the implementation of Rotary within the trust, within the Rotary Foundation, and he deserves absolute recognition for that. He moved a motion that the trustees allow environmental activities as part of their area of focus activity, our project activity. And this was universally agreed and unanimously adopted by the trustees. But the question became, how do we adopt that? What do we do? Do we absorb it into an existing area of focus? Do we amalgamate some areas of focus? Do we have a seventh area of focus? What do we do? So, of course, it's Rotary, and we had a task force. And the task force was 4 trustees, 1 director, 1 Rotaractor, and I had the honour and privilege of being the chairman of that. We took submissions from our Rotary Action Group, SRAG, from a couple of academics, from experts in the field, discussed it over 3 meetings and a lot of very intense discussion, and agreed again unanimously, both for the task force and the members of staff who were assisting us. We all unanimously agreed that we should have a 7th area of focus. That was then unanimously agreed again by the trustees when we made the submission to them, and the board of directors of Rotary International again unanimously agreed to our request that it should be a 7th area of focus, effective from the 1st of July next year. So far so good. The next thing we had to do was have an area of focus statement. Now, these statements are really important because they determine what will be covered within an area of focus, and possibly, even more importantly, what will not be covered in project terms. So what you can have in a global grant or what you can't. We've gone backwards and forwards a little bit on that. The trustees considered it at our last meeting, excuse me, and had some more questions, so it's gone back to the task force. We are looking at it again to resolve some of these issues. It will go to the trustees at our September meeting, so I think it's not long after you are hearing this. So I was really pleased, I have to say, at the response from the Rotary world. I've been inundated with responses from folks saying about time, how important it is, etc., etc. And I think it is too. I think this is a very exciting time for the Rotary Foundation and Rotarians more broadly, because this is the first change that there's been to the areas of focus since it was adopted, 7 years ago or thereabouts. So I think it's important. And one of the things that we said when making the submission to the trustees, it should, and we believe it will, make Rotary service more attractive to younger people, because younger people seem to care more about the environment than maybe older folks. But that's not why we're doing it. It's a fringe benefit. We're doing it because it's the right thing to do. So we really do have to consider that looking after our environment and looking after the sustainability of the planet on which we live is a really important thing, and Rotarians involve themselves with very important activities. So I leave it to you to discuss. We're looking forward to your support, and if, again, correspondence is any indication, I think we'll be run off our feet by 2 things: contributions to the major gift initiative that takes place with each of the areas of focus, because many people have said to me that they are happy to donate to that, which is wonderful because we need the money if we're going to do the projects. And secondly, from 1st of July next year, we will have a lot of submissions for or grant requests. And I think that's sort of really important and really exciting as well. Nice to chat to you. I wish I could be online to answer questions and to debate the issues, but as probably Stephanie has told you, it's 3 a.m. in Australia when you're listening to this, and I'm not sparkling at that hour, so easier to do it this way. So look after yourselves, take care, and don't forget, donate to the Rotary Foundation, and look after yourselves. Cheers.
I think Ian's narrative as to how the environment area focus came into being is really interesting. And he was instrumental in moving this along. So it's a very good story to hear. And of course, we'll be hearing a lot more about environment, as he mentioned, over the next few months. So now it's my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Karen Kendrick Hands. Karen is a member of the Rotary Club of Madison, Wisconsin, has been since 2012, and she was instrumental in forming the Environmental Sustainability Rotary Action Group, known for short as ESRAG. This was an opportunity for her to synergize her passions for Rotary service and mitigating climate change and producing a way for like-minded Rotarians to collaborate. She has served as ESRAG's chair, Director of Communications, and is currently the Director of Projects. And she represented Rotary for the first time ever at the big environmental conference, COP24, in Katowice, Poland, in December 2018. She has been very actively involved in advancing the environmental cause before the Rotary Foundation Environmental Issues Task Force on behalf of ESRAG, and the directors and the trustees. And she takes a lot of pride in the fact that ESRAG was so heavily involved in this exercise. She has been active with the Wisconsin chapter of the Citizens Climate Lobby and is the co-leader of its Rotary Action Group. When active as an attorney, Karen worked as a volunteer public interest advocate for cleaner air and mobility and transportation choices, including serving on various local, state, and regional advisory bodies for over 30 years. And Karen was a Rotary Youth Exchange student in 1967-1968 to Australia. She and her husband are both Rotarians, and they've been married for 46 years. So it is with great pleasure that I now call upon Karen to address you.
Thank you so much. It's a tremendous honor to be here today to help you celebrate what we in SRAG like to call the newest area of focus, rather than calling it the seventh, because we don't want anyone to think that it's less important than the other six. They all work together. As a founder of SRAG, I am pleased that we had a vessel ready and waiting when the Rotary world caught up with us. Next slide, please. Thank you, David. Next, please. Yes, supporting the environment. And as you just heard from Ian Risley, he's proud to be green. He's a tough act to follow. We need the environment more than ever. It's a place where Rotary's touch and leadership is long overdue and very powerful. It's a difficult world, not only the pandemic, but the increasing degradation of the environment and the aftermath with species loss and the irony, tragic irony of both extreme precipitation events and drought. And we have some responsibility for many of the challenges to the environment. And now with our new area of focus, we have an opportunity to provide Rotarian solutions. Next slide, please. As we said, it's important to Rotary's humanitarian mission that we also create a safety net with our environment to support humanity and the web of life on which we all depend. Next, please. One of the wonderful things that our newest area of focus does is it completes the circle of 17 UN Sustainable Development Goals. Click again, please. There were a handful of orphan goals beyond water and sanitation, which is covered well by our area of focus for that. But affordable and clean energy, sustainable cities and communities. Click again, please. responsible consumption and production, which encompasses the circular economy, and climate action, sustaining life below land, life below water, and life on land. These sustainable development goals are now encompassed by our new area of focus and will help us to, as one of the world's leading humanitarian organizations, lead the way to implementing the integrated sustainable development goals for everyone. Next, please. These are challenging times for the clubs and districts that you lead. The pandemic, the fires in California, the hurricanes in the South. Rotary's leadership is needed, and its humanitarian relief is more important than ever. And we believe that embracing the environment as a cause will open many opportunities for Rotary. Opportunities to recruit new members, inspire new projects that can be funded, I understand, with district grants now, and we are eagerly awaiting the global grants guidelines in 21. New partner opportunities from entities who are eager to work with Rotary under the new banner of the environment, and new funding opportunities as folks within and without Rotary choose to fund under this new area of focus. Supporting the environment gives all of us who are passionate an opportunity to do their environmental service through Rotary with a seat at the Rotary table. We in SRAG have seen members of our communities, long respected Rotary from afar, join Rotary because of its renewed commitment to the environment. Next, please. SRAG is seeing 2 to 3 new members join every day. We've initiated an exciting new partnership as one example with a group called Tradewater. They came to Rotary and said, they came to SRAG and said, would we help them because of COVID set up collection centers for canisters of ozone depleting gases that also had a high global warming potential. It was an opportunity to place an environmental solution in motion that seemed like it was only for the industrial groups, and now it's available as a retail opportunity for Rotary clubs across the US. We needed 60 cities to sign up for our pilot, and we have all but a handful subscribed. Next steps include a wider program in the US and eventually around the world. A wonderful anecdote of how Rotary leads. I knew that there must be lots and lots of this gas perhaps in India. And I'm saying, but how will I find the right Rotarians in India? How long will it take? How many emails and WhatsApp calls? 18 hours later, while watching the Rotary Convention plenary on Zoom, I received a spontaneous WhatsApp message from an incoming president in India who said, we met in Hamburg. I'm a president. I need environmental projects. And just in case, here is my resume. And it turns out he was a 14-year professional in hazardous waste incineration with all of the connections we need for in his country with his government and industry to create a destruction center for these harmful gases. The magic of Rotary. I asked the Rotary universe and I had an answer in 18 hours. Next, please. So SRAG is here to offer you project inspirations. We have a handbook that we co-created with UNEP that's available online. We did that at the request of Barry Rassin. We take inspiration for solutions-oriented projects from Project Drawdown Research. We know that Rotarians want to plant trees, but now the challenge is to plant them wisely and in a manner where the tree plantings go on for a long time. a circular economy to help us make our beach cleanups more effective. Rotarians like to work upstream. That's what we've done with ending polio, and that's what we can do with plastic pollution as well. We are threatened by species extinction, and Rotary and SRAG has programs going, pollinator gardens, and reducing animal and human conflict to help. An active renewable energy team, an endeavor with clean cook stoves, a focus on reducing food waste, which is a huge contributor to some of our environmental problems today. Next. So I would invite you to take action as the environment opens opportunities for us. Join SRAG. If you haven't, SRAG has a dozen regional chapters. I think the Eastern Seaboard encompasses most of Zone 33, 34, although we have one in Latin America as well. We invite you to connect with a relevant project task force, either to lend your expertise or to get expertise. Our activities within Rotary have a carbon footprint, and we are providing calculators for you to figure yours out. As Ian would say, if you can't measure it, if you don't measure it, you can't control it. So here's a way to measure it. Start an environmental committee in your club or become a district environmental officer. Your next speaker, Candelaria, will tell you all about the Climate Solutions Coalition as a way to activate the beneficiaries of your youth programming. Allow our resources to open environmental opportunities in your club. I'll put my contact information in the chat in case people want to follow up with one of us at SRAC directly. Thank you so much.
Karen, thank you. That was absolutely outstanding. You know, and as I listened to your presentation and I look at all of the things that we need to deal with, you know, it's somewhat overwhelming, but I am reminded of that story. I'm sure you've all heard it about the starfishes on the beach and the guy that walks along and he picks up one step at a time. If we each of us take one issue and deal with it, we can go so far. And as you know, Rotary Action Groups are designed, one of the things they're designed to do is help you to develop projects, quality global grants and other kinds of activities. So do reach out to Karen if your district or your club would like to take a step and do something to support our environment. I'm happy now to introduce our third speaker today, and this is a young lady. Her name is Candelaria de Paula Morelli. Now, Candelaria is from Argentina. She was in Interact in 2015. That was her first venture into Rotary. Then she became a youth exchange student in 18-19, and her youth exchange was to Germany. When she was in Germany, she noted how the German culture cared for the environment, and they had many green technologies, and that's what inspired her and created an interest in climate solutions. While she was in Germany, she had an opportunity to go to the Rotary International Convention, where she met another youth exchange student by the name of Julia Kozel. And if you were reading the Rotarian magazine in November of 2019, you recall that Julia was featured in that article. Julia and Candelaria together founded the Climate Solutions Coalition. Right now, Candelaria is 18 years old, and she is majoring in environmental management in the Argentina Business University. And she's here today to share a little bit of her background of how Climate Solutions Coalition came about and the connection to Rotary. So I'll turn it over to you, Candelaria.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. My name is Candelaria. I am studying environmental management in the University of Buenos Aires. I am the director of Climate Solutions Coalition. And as you all heard, I took part also in Interact, and I made an exchange year to Germany. And my whole life, sorry. Yes, I've been part of Rotary for a long time. and Rotary really changed the way I see the world and gave me many opportunities. And this is also a way to thank Rotary for everything they have done for me, and also a way to an opportunity to other exchangers, interactors, and youth programs to thank Rotary. So the Claimants Coalition is a program from RIZ33 for youth generations. We want to mitigate the climate emergency effects all over the world in the name of Rotary. Climate Solutions Coalition have 4 different focused areas: education and awareness, energy, transition to a circular economy, and conservation of biodiversity. We want all Rotary clubs to help us to connect to the new generations and to get to new clubs so we can. May I start again, please? I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry. Okay, so my name is Candelaria. I am the director of the Climate Solutions Coalition. We are a youth program from RIZ33. We started this coalition last year with Julia Casulli. I had the chance to join Climate Solutions Coalition from the beginning, and everything started when I had the chance to meet Karen Hendricks in Hamburg on the Rotary International Convention. Karen helped me to get into the coalition, and as I've been in Rotary for so many years, it was really helpful as I knew a little about the Rotary structure, Interact, and new generation programs. So with Julia, we decided to focus on the new generations as we are the Rotary of tomorrow. And we just want to empower the youth to take action for the environment in the name of Rotary. We are already in many countries, such as France, Lebanon, Belgium, Egypt, United States, Venezuela, Argentina, Taiwan, Peru, Ecuador, Australia, Colombia, Brazil, Bolivia, Canada. We are looking for get to many other parts of the world and to connect Rotary youth so they can work all together, get to know better the Rotary family, and fight together the climate crisis. For us, it's such a big opportunity that now Rotary is focusing as well as a family on the environment. And this is our chance to get to the youth, because we are the Rotary of tomorrow. And as I said, many of us, we are super happy and aware of everything Rotary have made for us. And we just want to thank you for everything. And I think the better way to thank you for everything you have done for us is just working with you as a family and making an impact in our communities. So as I came back from Germany last year, I had so many energy, and I just wanted to make a chance in the world. And I think that's the way every single exchanger feels when they come back to their native countries, home countries. And that's why this is a huge opportunity for them, to invite them to take action with Rotary in their communities when they're back, but not also the exchangers, but the interactors and all programs from Rotary focused on the youth. So the Climate Solutions Coalition work with 4 different focused areas with education and awareness, energy, transition to a circular economy, and biodiversity management. we have 4 different focused areas for our project because we know every single community is being affected by the climate crisis in a different way. So we really want our action teams, which are the clubs, to adjust our focus areas to their problems so they can really make an impact. We have also a project campaign made by 3 environmental engineers from Germany and Colombia. So we are pretty new and we have received all the help from SRAG and Rotary, and we are so grateful to be here today and to have this great opportunity. We are all super young people. We just want to make the difference in Rotary because we think even though we are young people or children, we can make a huge impact on the world. And I think technology and social medias are helping us way too much. So yes, you are our contact to new clubs to interact, Rotaract or Rotary Youth Exchange students. So if there are some Rotary youth in your clubs, it will be great if you can tell them about us and about what do we do, so we can get to more communities and make this Rotary family bigger and bigger, and of course, make Rotary stronger every single day. We want to empower the children and the new generations. So thank you so much for this opportunity and for letting me speaking here, for giving all the youth this huge opportunity to show how much we can do all together.
Thank you, Candelaria. That was terrific. Really inspirational. I think we can all sense your passion, your enthusiasm coming through loud and clear. And it is so good for us old white-haired guys to know that there are young people with your energy, your enthusiasm, your knowledge coming through to rectify the ills that we have not been able to rectify. So thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for your experience as Interact and as an exchange student in Germany. I'm quite sure that young people throughout Rotary will be interested to join with you in the Climate Solutions Coalition. So thank you for a very nice address, and thank you for what you're doing to pay back, as you put it, for Rotary.
Thank you.
We have our final speaker. It's my pleasure to introduce Belinda Rodebauer. Belinda describes herself as a wellness consultant and speaker. She attended her first Rotary Leadership Institute within a couple of weeks of being inducted into the Rotary Club of Chesapeake, Virginia. She was a club director and newsletter editor for the club, and she quickly became an RLA graduate and facilitator and discussion leader. She became a Paul Harris Fellow within 3 months of joining Rotary, and she's also a Paul Harris Society member. She's a past president of the Rotary Club of Tallahassee Southside, where she helped co-found the Rotaract Club of Big Bend, and is a past secretary of District 6940. She is a charter member and currently vice president and membership chair of the Rotary Club of Siesta Key, which she helped to found. As a wellness consultant, Belinda educates her clients on how to develop a healthy lifestyle and eating habits, that's something that we all need, to enhance their health and increase their energy to live their best life possible. Welcome, Belinda.
Thank you very much, Rotary International Director Peter, for that warm welcome. Thank you, Rotary International Directors Stephanie and Peter, as well as past Rotary International Director David Stovall, for giving me and District 6960 the Rotary Opens Doors opportunity to present our Green Rotaract initiative to all the distinguished colleagues and guests here today. Please, if I've missed anyone that should be recognized, let me know. Most people remember that Rotary started with one person's idea. Paul Harris and his friends had an idea to start Rotary. And today we can look at the National Immunization Day in Pakistan and Afghanistan that started with one man's idea to speak with the Taliban leader. As we all know, that meeting ended with Rotary's ability to have a one-day ceasefire for the National Immunization Day for children. Each Rotaractor and Rotarian can share an idea through Rotary and affect the world for better. So hashtag Green Rotaract is an exciting global project for Rotaractors, Rotarians, interactors, and guests to have fun while bringing awareness to Rotary's new 7th area of focus, supporting the environment. Next page, please. The objectives of this project are to increase membership. Many volunteers and guests hear about or are involved in Rotaract and Rotary projects, and those draw them into becoming members after they're asked. To promote peace, when each group that's doing a project with the Green Rotaract posts their pictures showcasing their amazing projects, and other groups look at what's been posted, it becomes easier to identify and bond through communication with others across borders about these projects. To energize Rotaract and Rotary by showcasing others that Rotary and Rotaract work together to have fun and make a difference in communities around the world. To increase public image by seeing the posted pictures, others can see that Rotaract and Rotary are inclusive. People viewing the posts will want to get involved in their communities. They'll think that this organization is for me. To increase awareness of Rotary's 7th area of focus, supporting the environment. This is an exciting opportunity to show the world that Rotary cares about the environment, thus aligning with the movement to increase the sustainability of our Earth. Next slide, please. So the Green Rotaract project will showcase green projects submitted to the Green Rotaract Facebook page from clubs around the world during the month of April 2021. Each club is encouraged to participate in a customized project for their area while wearing green and post pictures and a 15-second video to show how much fun they're having to the Facebook page. Next page, please. So explore your power to protect our planet. When you visit the Green Rotaract website, there are many project suggestions. Here are a few: just composting, waste cleaning, recycling project, education events, installation of bat boxes. Each bat eats about 1,000 mosquito-sized insects every night, and they also pollinate. So they're pretty great little flying dudes out there. A community garden, plant refurbishment, and perennial vegetables are planted once, but they're harvested yearly. So that's something that the children at schools could take home. So the planting trees, there is a Trillion Tree Initiative, Climate Solutions Coalition, and their website is climatesolutions.coalition.org. SRAG has a Freon collection event and many other projects. And you can see their Environmental Sustainability Rotary Action Group website can be found at srag.com. And friendship planning with partner organizations, install bird feeders with a sustainable food source. So a quote from Paul Harris from Rotary.org. In my road to Rotary, Harris recalled, with the cooperation of Rotarians and local governments, I have planted friendship trees in the parks and playgrounds on 5 continents of the world, and even on some of the major islands of the seas. Our trees stood as symbols of international understanding and goodwill. So in closing, we'll leave this page up so that you can scan the QR code or take pictures of the website and Facebook page links there. In addition, District Governor Darrell Keys and my contact information is on the page should you have any questions or want to get involved with this project. It's been an honor to share Green Rotaract with everyone today. Thank you very much for your time and efforts in assisting with this amazing project.
Thank you so much, Belinda. That's awesome. As I listen to all 4 of our presenters today, it's amazing how everything is connected. Everything makes sense. And, I appreciate the fact that each of you know about each other and are reaching out to all of us to get more involved and to help support our environment. So thank you again. And thanks to all of our presenters, past President Ian, Karen, Candelaria, Belinda, thank you so much for a great program today. If any of you have questions, now is the time to put them in the chat box. Karen, Candelaria, or Belinda are here to answer questions if you have. I saw one from Nico who wanted to know if slides from today's presentations can be shared. Past Director David is reminding us that this call is recorded, so you would be able to see this information again. But if you have specific needs for the slides, I would suggest that you contact each individual individually. I'm going to ask them to put their contact information in the chat feature so that you know how to reach them. So do we have any questions? Just a reminder again that this will be uploaded to the Facebook group page. If you would like to watch this again, get more information, please do that. Do we have any other questions or comments for our presenters today? Okay, seeing none, again, I'll just ask them if they will each place their contact information in the chat feature so that we can make sure that everybody knows how to reach you all should they want to get connected. So before we close, I would just like to share with you our next Zoom call. Zoomformation call will be on Monday, October the 5th. And that's the day that we're going to take a look at our virtual Zone Summit. You know, 6 months ago, the way that we all did Rotary changed drastically. And we figured it out. And we figured out how to virtually keep our connections going and keep our service going. But what it meant also was that in some cases, we're not going to be able to have the events that we have become accustomed to that meant face-to-face, and that includes our Zone Summit. However, we are going to have a virtual summit, and it will be held on November the 20th and 21st. Parts of that summit, the leadership training, are already underway. Some of you on the call may be involved in some of that training that's going on now. Our governor-elects, our governor nominees, our emerging leaders are about to start, our current governors. That training is happening. We have a very creative and energetic team that's putting together a virtual experience like no other. So I hope that you'll join us in October to hear about some of the events that will happen in October prior to our kickoff, our final event really on November 20th and 21st. So put it on your calendar. We'll be meeting again on Monday, October the 5th at noon, and you'll receive an invite for our Zoomformation call for October. So as we typically do on all of our calls, Director Peter and I are now going to lead us in the four-way test. So Peter, here we go.
All the things we think, say, and do.
Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and
better friendships?
Will it be
beneficial to all
concerned?
Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.